I was just meditating and I had a big revelation. There were a couple of men, one on YouTube and one on Facebook, like arguing with me. And I realized something, that through all the incarnations I can remember, and I've mostly been a woman in my past lives, but I remember a couple of lives as a man around 1940s. I was an Amish man, and in sometime in the 1700s, I was a black male slave down in Florida. And the Spanish, had taken me. It was, Spanish controlled then, and the Spanish were running things, running the slaves, running the slave ships. And in all my incarnations, the problems came from men. Of course, lives as a woman, of course, that would have happened. The rape, murders, people that would subjugate others and try to control me were men. But even when I was a man, say as an Amish man or a black slave, I knew, I would have admitted, if somebody said, who is the problem? In your lifetime, who gives you the problems? Is it women or is it men? And this is why I don't get, men's defensiveness over the wrongdoings that men have done under the patriarchy. The patriarchy was founded on genocide, slavery, rape, corruption, and abuse. It's the founding principles. The patriarchy does not operate on fairness and right rule and freedom for all and distributing resources. The patriarchy only operates through men controlling resources, controlling others, and extracting others to provide labor for them, and forcing women to bear their children and do labor, and slaves to do their labor, and subjugating and forcing other people. So, of course, when I was a black male slave, it wasn't women that took us from the island. It wasn't women that killed the elderly and took those they judged to be of working age and shackled us on the slave ships. It wasn't women that did that. It was men that did it. It wasn't women that whipped me. It wasn't women that bought me. It wasn't women that made me do their labor. It wasn't women that raped women to death in front of me. It wasn't women that I had to escape from. It wasn't women that judged me when they caught me and hung me. It was always men. My problem was always men. And when I was an Amish man, again, the Amish women are so put upon. There's rape and incest is very high in the Amish community. The women are impregnated young. They do all the labor. So again, as an Amish man, who was the problem? My brother was a rapist in that life. He raped his own granddaughter in that life. The bishop was a rapist. He raped boys. And there was nobody to tell, since the thing is a closed community, and men that got, caught, rape, incest, you'd be, people just look the other way. So male abuse, male rape is always condoned. So I don't get where men argue with me about how, well, women are bad too. I'm not saying women are perfect. But if you look at who does 95% of the abuse it's men, because patriarchy rewards men who do abuse. Women get sanctioned for everything under patriarchy, whereas men are rewarded for abuse. That's a power man. He takes over a country, he takes over a village, he takes over the tribe, he takes over America. And he's rewarded and looked up to as a great man. So I don't understand where men come from arguing with me in comments, because I, for true, remember. And one life was an Amish man was just, 2 before this. So I remember it pretty clearly. And if somebody were to say to me in this Amish community, or just the world, who does the wrongdoing here, I would 1,000% as a man said, oh, it's the men.